Alright, so I just want to let y'all know that I will be doing a live commentary stream for the big fight this weekend. Remember, there will be no footage, it will just be me commentating over the fight and telling you guys what I see. So if you guys want to see that live stream, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and hitting that notification bell so you get notified when I go live. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we got a big fight coming up this week in the junior lightweight division when Shakur Stevenson takes on Oscar Valdez. This fight will be a unification bout in the junior lightweight division. Shakur Stevenson obviously holding the WBO belt, while Oscar Valdez holds the WBC belt. In this video, I'm going to give you all my fight preview and prediction, and who I think will win this fight. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're talking boxing. I'm staying consistent with this boxing stuff. Fights are ramping up. It's boxing season. Everybody's trying to fight each other. And you know what? As a fan of boxing, I enjoy this. Now, Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, this was another anticipated bout on my list for the month of May. This fight was a long time coming. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about the two differences of the fighters. We've been talking about the differences in style, their talent level. So I'm so happy this fight has been made. So let's get right into it. Shakur Stevenson, obviously 17-0 with 9 KOs. His last fight was against Jamel Herring, in which he beat Jamel Herring to a pulp and stopped him in the 8th round, I think. I think it was the 8th round. He beat the crap out of Jamel Herring. Shakur Stevenson, probably a future pound for pound great in boxing. Dude's just super talented. I can't even describe how talented he is. The main thing for him in this fight, or any fight, you know, that you will watch Shakur Stevenson in, is his defense. You know, the average punches landed on him are like less than 2 a round. He did the same thing to Jamel Herring. He did the same thing to Jeremiah Nakatilia, who just knocked out Miguel Berchelt. You know, it's hard to hit Shakur Stevenson. He's very shifty. He moves around a lot. He knows his way around the ring, has a good jab. He uses angles. Just an overall great boxer, but don't let that fool you, because Shakur Stevenson has a lot of power. You know, his power is kind of underrated because people talk about his defense, you know, they talk about his boxing IQ, but he actually has good power to his shots. He just doesn't use it all the time. I think it was one fight against Jeremiah Nakatilia, like I said. You know, he was hitting Jeremiah Nakatilia, but it seemed like he wasn't putting a lot of power on those shots because he had started to get hit a lot in that fight. And he even said after the fight that, you know, he didn't like getting hit with these big punches because Nakatilia hit hard. So ultimately, with Shakur Stevenson in this fight, he's going to have to manage the pressure of Oscar Valdez. You know, Oscar Valdez, he's going to plot forward. He's gonna come Mexican style and just blitz Shakur Stevenson. Ultimately, I expect Shakur Stevenson to move around the ring, use his jab, you know, make Oscar Valdez miss, and counter Oscar Valdez, because Oscar Valdez is liable and very vulnerable to counters. So ultimately, those are the keys for Shakur Stevenson. I'd like to see him go to the body a bit more. That's the one gripe I have with him. He doesn't use the body shots enough. But ultimately, if he can do that, if he can do all that, he'll beat Oscar Valdez easily. He just has too much talent. But don't let that fool you. Oscar Valdez is another great talent in that division. The 30-year-old from Mexico. He holds the WBC belt. He's 30-0. He has no losses at all on his career. He's been in tough fights before, and he's a very, very skilled veteran. He's going to make it tough for Shakur. I know that for a fact. I watched him a couple times. His last fight was against Robson Conceição, actually. In that fight, he didn't look too good. That fight could have went either way. With Robson Conceição, he kind of let his foot off the gas in those later rounds. I think that's why they gave Oscar Valdez the fight. Now, the scorecards, that's anybody's guess. They were so wide that, you know, I was looking at the judge's side eye, but either way, Valdez won that fight. His previous fight was against Miguel Berchelt, in which I watched when he knocked Miguel Berchelt into the shadow round. Power. That's the only thing I can say about Oscar Valdez. He has true power in that division, and he puts calculated pressure on his opponents. He breaks you down systematically. He breaks you down mentally. He has, I don't know if he's southpaw or orthodox. That's eludes me at the moment. He has a good array of punches. So, what Oscar Valdez needs to do is he needs to figure out a way to keep Shakur Stevenson in place. Don't let him move around the ring. Don't let him use the ring to his advantage. Don't let him control you or control the pace of the fight. Another thing he has to do is he's gonna have to take the fight and take the jab away from Shakur Stevenson. Now I know Shakur is gonna try to keep him away with a poking jab, and Oscar is vulnerable to that because he comes in with his head down. But the thing with Valdez is, that's not going to deter him. He's a warrior. He's been in tough fights before. He's going to use the younger fighters' inexperience, the younger fighters' overconfidence, and ultimately pressure him and land good shots. Now, the thing with Valdez for me is that sometimes he can be a little lax with his defense. Like I said, he'll come in recklessly. He won't set up his punches all the way. But with power, with Oscar Valdez's power, he can kind of get away with that. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away with that in this fight because Shakur Stevenson is just so talented. But ultimately, I do think Shakur Stevenson will win by unanimous decision. And I say that because, look at him. He's extremely talented. He trains with Bud Crawford. He trains with all these great fighters. He has a great style. He has good confidence in himself, obviously. He wants to be pound for pound number one. I think he can be pound for pound number one. He's one of the most exciting fighters in boxing, actually. He wants to be the greatest. And just the talent shows itself. I mean, that fight against Jamel Herring, I thought it was going to be more competitive than it actually was. He beat Jamel Herring to a pulp in that fight. And he actually has true power. So ultimately, I do think he'll just outmaneuver Oscar Valdez. He'll, play chess with Oscar Valdez. He'll use his jab. He'll make Oscar Valdez miss. He might try to knock him out. I don't think he should go for the knockout, but he might try to. But ultimately, I have him winning by unanimous decision. Final thoughts. This fight, I don't know who else holds those belts in that division. I have to go back and check. But this is a great step to unifying this junior lightweight division. Shakur has expressed interest in taking all the belts in this division and then moving up and fighting, guys like Tank Davis and Devin Haney. So we'll see with Oscar Valdez. If he wins this fight, this will be that will put him at the top of his career. We'll put him in the elite fighters category. So a lot of implications for this fight. I'm excited for it. I will be streaming as always. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this fight, who you think will win, and why. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and hitting that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these boxing videos. It's going to be a busy few months. Share this video with your friends, your family. Get ready for fight night, and I'm out. Peace.